So what exactly is this Frieren Looking Up thing? Why does it look off and how would I fix it? Let me take you for a beautiful journey. It all started with a Reddit post by an artist named SpaceDev1. They posted on Frieren, I practiced drawing faces in a different angle, but it looks kinda weird lol. In this drawing, Frieren is seen from an upward angle, looking at the sky, but her chin and jawline are a little off, kind of flat or pointed in a very unusual way. That awkwardness could have been the end of the story, but instead it became the beginning of something beautiful. For context, Frieren is the main character of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, a beautifully written fantasy series that follows an elf mage who outlives her human companions after their decade-long quest to defeat the Demon King. Instead of focusing on the battles, the story explores memory, grief, time, and the small intimate moments that shape a life. It's gentle, emotional, and surprisingly funny. And Season 1 is genuinely one of the best anime seasons I've watched in years. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend it. It's thoughtful, visually stunning, and full of scenes that stay with you long after the credits roll. And naturally, it has inspired a lot of fan art by artists around the world, myself included. But this piece of fan art broke the art community for a bit. The drawing didn't stay in that one subreddit for long. People reposted it to animation, painting, and more. And it exploded. On Twitter and other social platforms, artists started recreating Frieren in that same upward angle, some trying to fix it, others leaning into how weird and cute it is. The meme even got a nickname, Friangle, a playful mix of Frieren and Angle. And here's a wild twist. Mallory Rodak, the English voice actress for Frieren, said that Frieren drawing as her profile picture on Twitter. That just shows how deep this went, from a simple practice sketch to something the community really embraced. To me, this whole trend isn't just about drawing Frieren in a funny way. It's about vulnerability and growth. The original artist openly admitted they struggle with perspective. That's something so many creators face, especially when tackling difficult angles. And instead of being mocked relentlessly, they received support. People offered advice, shared tutorials, and even joined in with their own takes. The original artist, SpaceDave1, received encouragement from some huge names in the art community. Yu, the animator behind Hololife's legendary Cronin Miori and Wolfie Style animations, chimed in with supportive words, and Stefan Sejic, the powerhouse comic artist known for Sunstone and Harleen, also reached out with genuine encouragement. Seeing artists of that caliber cheer on someone practicing a tough angle really shows how far the community's positivity can go. And it turned the whole meme into something inspiring instead of just discouraging. Some people online have pointed out that yes, there was some mockery. I hate how that bad drawing of Frieren went viral. Learning involves making mistakes, says someone on Reddit. But the more powerful thread is the encouragement. The art community leaning in, not out. It became a challenge, not to ridicule, but to see if we could do it too. To try that angle ourselves, and to maybe learn something in the process. The original artist, SpaceDev1, responded with heartfelt gratitude. So, my drawing blew up. It even became a meme. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for sending me countless tips on how to draw faces, perspective. Thank you very much for that too. I'm happy that it inspired a lot of you to draw this apparently hard angle. I'm glad that you challenged yourself to do better than I did. I'm absolutely flattered this drawing became Mallory Rodak's profile picture. I just shared it because it looked silly, but oh my god, the publicity, the tips. I didn't even know that drawing would touch that many people's souls. Thank you. I don't know what else to say except I included a crappy star drawing to complete the family. Thank you. I don't know if this sounds dramatic. I just want to show I appreciate all your support. I decided to join the challenge and created two versions of Frieren. The first one, a dramatic from below perspective, inspired by that scene of Asuka from Evangelion. The way she's standing and saying pathetic. I wanted to push myself, lean into how hard this is, and embrace the distortion. And oh my god, she had a long neck. The second one, a more serious but cute chibi style. Frieren also looking up, but in my own way. More controlled, but still capturing that looking at the sky feel, making it look pretty and cute. Doing both felt like a conversation I was having with the original meme, a mix of challenge and play, and streaming it live brought in people who asked how I tackled proportion and why the original drawing looked off, so I basically started drawing over it to explain. When trying to figure out why this drawing looks so off, the first thing that I noticed is that the jaw is too long. If you touch the back of your jaw, you'll notice it is not at the back of your neck, and you'll also notice that your ears are just above the end of the jaw. Comparing it to the drawing that I just did, you can see how the ears are much lower and near the jaw. It still looks funny because the reference picture is also kind of weird, but I do think it's an improvement. I wanted to further edit the original drawing, but I thought it was better to get a second copy so we can compare. So the first thing I did was delete the original ears and lower them. And another big change that will make a huge difference is thinning out the neck. The original neck is too wide, almost as wide as the full head, and especially in anime, necks tend to be much more thinner. I go ahead and color the ears, the background of the hair, the side bangs that she has, and then add some details like the earrings. Also added some line art to go with the original style, although I made it a bit too thick, but it's fine because that way it's easy to know what I added and what was there before. I decided to erase the full face to make a new one and also erase the line that was defining the jaw. I think the shadow is enough to portray the change in shape, and with the line it looked a bit too sharp. I redraw the face very quickly, nothing too fancy or anything, but I think it fits. I also want to be really clear about something. When I draw over the original image to fix the angle, it's not because I think I'm better than the artist or that my way is the only correct way. I'm doing it purely to explain what's happening with the perspective and why it feels off, so other artists can learn from it too. We all struggle with tricky angles, I definitely do, and this whole trend started because someone was brave enough to share their imperfect practice. My goal is to build on that spirit of learning, not to put anyone down. And honestly, I've been exactly where the original artist is. I still remember this weird, kind of ugly Princess Zelda I drew back in 2010. The proportions were off, the face was strange, everything looked a bit cursed. But then, 5 years later, in 2015, I made another Zelda piece that was so much more detailed and polished. You could literally see how much I'd grown. And now, the Zelda I drew this year is simpler but cuter, totally aligned with the style I've developed and feel comfortable in today. Looking back at those old drawings doesn't embarrass me. It reminds me that improvement is real, growth takes time, and every bad drawing is just a stepping stone towards something better. To me, the Frieren Looking Up challenge is a reminder. Art isn't always about perfect lines or polished results. Sometimes the most powerful thing is sharing your struggle. When an artist tries something hard, perspective, anatomy, something outside their comfort zone, and shows it, they invite others in. That openness builds empathy, it builds a community. And right now, during this meme, people are not just laughing, they're learning, they're redrawing, they're offering guidance, they're sharing vulnerability. So if you're watching this and you're an artist, maybe try it. Try drawing Frieren or any character from that upward angle. Don't worry if it looks weird, that's the point. Share your journey, ask for help, learn, laugh, connect. Thank you so much for watching this video, for being part of this little corner of the internet where weird angles aren't a mistake, they're a challenge. If you enjoyed this, check out my video where I draw Satoru Gojo in 8 completely different styles. It's an experiment full of weird looking results. Until next time, keep drawing and keep looking up.